Hey there everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris Orme and today we're doing a little review and look at Out of the Park Baseball 17. Brought to you by the same studio that put together Franchise Hockey Manager 2 and 3 that you've seen on this channel. And yeah, I've been asked to do a little review of the game. So that's what we're going to do. It's a game that I've played a little bit. I've played 2 seasons, I believe, 2 separate seasons. I played a modern day, a standard day, which was my Rockies start as the Colorado Rockies, and we were pretty bad to begin with. It's not a great team. If you don't know much about baseball, Colorado is not a good team. However, it was on easy trading difficulty and a few other bits and pieces. I did manage to assemble a pitching lineup which worked well. Add that to a couple of moves as well along the way, and I actually ended up winning the World Series Season 1. Now I do tend to spend a lot of time analysing everything, minute details. I do tend to go way too deep into these kind of games for my own good, and it does lead to overachievement. The other one I did was a historical game, which we're going to take a look at how to set that up as well. So, you know, with my favourite all-time team, the 1961 New York Yankees, with Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle going after Babe Ruth's home run record in the house that Ruth built. So, there's a good film called 61. That kind of got me interested in that era of baseball. I really enjoyed that film, directed by Billy Crystal. And yeah, that's a fine film. And it really captures, I feel, what it's like, or what it was like in that sort of period and how things might have been. And I just kind of fell in love with that story, and you know, I delved in. So we can recreate something like that. You can see all these different early years, dead ball era, baseball's rebirth, the golden years, the baseball boom, the defensive era, the power years, and modern times. So if we would go down here, you can see Mantle and Maris, the story of the summer, each chasing Ruth's 60 home run record. So that's kind of what I tried to replicate. It didn't quite go so well, to be fair. And there's a lot of different things you can use to set up these kind of games. And so there's that. There's an exhibition game between 2 historical teams. You can save a quick start to load up your previous settings. The standard game is just as it comes with updates. You can import a game from Out of the Park 16, which I think is a really nice feature that a lot of games in this sort of genre do not do. And I'm really happy that this is one that does, because I feel like baseball is a very stats-driven game and a very sort of heavy, intense game to sort of really analyze and get things right. And if you're the kind of player like me who loves to deal into that aspect of management games, then building something up over one version of a game and having to restart for a new version, it's a little bit tiresome in some of the franchises. Luckily, like I say, this you can actually carry on. Now, I did play 15 and 16 a little bit. Baseball is not my favorite sport, and I don't know too much about it. I'd say, you know, football / soccer is my number 1. Then ice hockey, maybe NFL, you know, they're 2 and 3. Used to be hockey a lot more, but recently I've been getting into American football, so, you know, I'm glad to see that there will be an American football game out, of course, Beyond the Sidelines Football, being developed by Out of the Park Developments. So that'll complete a nice little trio of games, in my opinion. So we're looking forward to that. Also to note, there is a giveaway. Spoiler alert, if you saw the title screen, if you've seen it on Twitter and followed the link to get to this video, we are giving away some copies of Out of the Park 17. A couple of them donated by people, and a couple by Out of the Park developments themselves. So there's a chance to get your hands on 3 games at the moment, possibly a 4th. I'm waiting for confirmation on that. But we're giving away some copies. So take a look at this video, listen to what I got to say about it, and enter the giveaway. If you like what I say about it, then this is your chance to pick up a very good game that's got great depth, and you can get it for free. So we are going to set up a historical game, and you don't really need to mess about too much with it. You can see that you can import the complete history. It sort of walks you through everything. Random players, real minor league. I don't normally do that kind of things. Optimized for the single season because it's about Maris and Mantle, and normally Maris won't hit the 61. He didn't when I was doing it, so it's a bit difficult to recreate that. So we're gonna throw this together. It's gonna take a little while just to get things up, and again, more quotes. That's also something that's quite nice. I always enjoy seeing that because you learn a little bit more about the game, and I feel playing a game like Out of the Park Baseball or Franchise Hockey Manager, Football Manager, these kind of sports management games, even Starters Orders, which has been on this channel and is still continuing, it's a chance to learn more about the sport that you don't know a lot about yet. So you might know the basics of horse racing or ice hockey or football or baseball, like I do. But maybe you don't know all the terms or what each term means. Baseball, what's an ERA? What's, RBIs? What kind of attributes do good players need? Why are there different positions? How are they different? If a player's good in one position, would he be decent in another? And there's all these kind of questions, and sometimes I feel put off by a sport or a game not knowing these, but these kind of games really do a good job of explaining that to you and allowing you to really discover a sport and not only the game but the sport itself, and perhaps even find something that you love. So I learned about ice hockey through games. I learned about the NFL mainly through games. All my soccer knowledge and football knowledge comes from games like FIFA and FM. So this is doing a pretty good job of teaching me about baseball along the way. Now we're going to pause the recording here just so that we can get into the game and take a quick look around. But we will be back in just a second when it's loaded. Okay, so we are done with part 1. It only took a couple of minutes, but I thought I'd cut the time at the video and get into the next screen. So you can keep transactions the same, you can keep the lineups, you can pause the video at any point to read what's on screen. I'm going to kind of skip over it a little bit. So I'm not going to put much of this in. I'm going to keep the lineups, maybe. Yeah, because we're not going to play through this. We're going to simulate through this season and take a look at some of the features of the game as well as maybe playing a game. So, let's see. Yes, only one season, so disable the development. And let's throw that in. Scouting players, you can set up the game as you wish. So, let's throw in some face gen as well. I think that'll be quite nice. You've got autosave options there. You can see there are quite a few. My role is just going to be the general manager, a little bit more hands-off. We can't be fired, so we want to see what actually happened. So you can see it's edited my year of birth, but it's kept the rest of the details the same. And as with most Out the Park development games, such a long list of nations you can choose from. So we, of course, are going to be managing the famous Yankees. And it's just going to save here, and then we can take a look around the league and actually start getting into a little bit of the really fun part, which is checking out the players and really seeing what the game looks like. And we're back with it. So see, we skipped ahead to the actual start. We've got owner goals, which are always quite nice. So we're supposed to, win basically more games than we lose, upgrade second base, acquire a team leader, and reach the World Series within the next 5 seasons. All infinitely doable. So there's a little bit here about us and about how we are now in charge. There are these links down the left hand side if you prefer, but I do like these menus. So you can see what everything is and hover over open new windows. With the drop down menus, there are quite a lot. League news, manager news, game news, your club news. You can change the club you're looking at. But to begin with, we're going to go to the team home screen so you can see the Yankee logo there. We got Whitey Ford as the starting rotating picture. So you can see we got face gen settings on. I think they handle that fairly well. So a little bit of personality. Very nice to see. He's very popular. The chairman of the board, Whitey Ford. And you can see he's won All-Star awards and he's so good, and some great stats here. But a little bit confusing at times. But you can see the everything he's got here. You can look up what all these mean, and there is a manual which will help you through things. Contrast screen just shows you a little bit about what he's on and everything else. Scouting, development isn't enabled on this, but then there's this page, the Bnn page, which is a nice little breakdown of everything that you really need to see. So you can see what he's good at, what he's bad at, what he might grow into, his career pitching, fielding. It's all there for you. Plus baseball cards. So you can add baseball cards and whatnot. His ratings. So you can see some pitching stats, batting stats, positional sort of ratings here. This will show kind of where he's best suited. His actual position is pitcher, but some players could be elsewhere. His batting, pitching, fielding stats, all separated out. The real life stats that he had. So we'd look to get Whitey Ford along this number. So 25 wins, an ERA, earned run average of 3.21. So that's how many runs per games he would give up, or per 9 innings. You can see the games, the number of games started as well. Not sure on IP. Hits allowed. Earned runs maybe. Home runs. Bases on balls. Strikes. Not sure on whip. Then you go home runs per 9, 0.7. So he gives up less than 1 home run per game. He gives up nearly 3 bases on balls a game, which is pretty decent. That's not bad. And he gets 6.5 strikes, or strikeouts I should say, every 9 innings, every game. Then you got bases and balls in play, or bases from at-bats in play. I can't remember exactly what that is, but I think that's a pretty good number there. So you can see I'm not a great sort of knowledge base of baseball, but I'm already starting to learn little bits. Now, of course, if you're going to look at the team, see the bullpen there, you've got your other pitchers, you've got the primary lineup here, and if you look 3 and 4, you've got 2 fantastic hitters. So we're going to look here at the man who won the road to, the long road to actually claiming the record of home run king, Roger Maris. And I like Roger a lot. If you look at his actual ratings here, you can see he's got a good outfield arm, good eye, he avoids strikes, and he's got a lot of power. He's got some decent contact to him as well. But really, he is a home run hitter. He's not really too great elsewhere. If you go down to the home runs here in 1961, you will see there is 61 of them. And it was a pretty good season for him, more hits than he had elsewhere. You know, at-bats was pretty high that season. The team worked hard to keep getting him up towards the end of the season and making sure he had stuff to hit. RBIs, run batted in, 142, which is pretty fantastic, and it really was the high point of his career. Bases on balls, SO, I'm not sure what that is. Stolen bases, 0. CS, not sure what that is. Batting average, so every time he stepped up, he had a better than 1 in 4 chance of hitting the ball. On base percentage, every time he stepped up, he had a better than 1 in 3 chance of getting to first base. Slugging percentage, when he hit the ball, he had 2/3 of a chance of getting a home run, I think. There's something that plays in there. No OPS, I can't remember what that is, but that is a fantastically high number. 993. So you look at Roger Maris and you try and replicate what they did and try and get him to break that record. Now, Mantle is another phenomenal player, of course, and if we look at his real life stats, you can see he actually hit 54 home runs there. He hit 52 back in 56. So it was his best season, but he did get injured towards the end of the season, and there's a lot of people thought that he would be the person to break that record. Great OPS, big numbers there. The slugging percentage is huge. On base percentage is huge. His batting average is awesome. He is a superstar. An absolute superstar. And the point of this season was, with Mantle and Maris batting together and a really good team led by Whitey Ford on the mound, really meant that the Yankees were the unstoppable, dominant force. So to replicate that would be quite difficult. You can see we've got quite a lot of players in here, and there are a couple of other sort of famous players in there, like Yogi Berra. Very big fan of him as well. We're not going to look too much at it, but you can see the overalls here, who are the top players. And this is also where you can add in other things. We've disabled a lot of it, sadly, so there aren't too many bits here, because we're only playing General Manager. But you can see here the trading status and where you've got them. Are they untouchable? Are you trying to trade them? Or are you not interested in trading them at the moment? You can kind of, push them in different places and change everything from here. So let's say Whitey Ford was untouchable, but Bob Turley is on the trading block. And right now, we're not interested in trading Downing. Maybe in the future, but not right now. You can sort of mess things about there. Your pitching lineups and what you can do with them and different things. Pause the video to take a closer look at these screens. The lineups, batting lineups, sort of where they're playing, which roles, what their batting order is, pinch hitting, all the different kind of depth here. You can see all their stats in there. You can also change up, of course, to a bunch of other stats. Now that's versus right-handed pitchers. Then left, right-handed pitchers with a designated hitter, left-handed pitcher with it. The graphical depth chart, which I like looking at because I feel I get a better overview of the players here. So you can kind of see now, if we sort by position, where our good players are, where we need to replace things. So we can look position by position, see who's going to play, where they're going to sort of have somebody else coming in if players are tired or never going to get used. So not too bad. The overview of the lineups then, a little condensed version of that. And the 7-day lineups, which looks at the next few games in more detail, so you can set that up. You can also see there's a bunch of other bits and pieces here for strategy. You can ask your manager to actually set that up. You can see here different players having strategies, so like Whitey Ford, what's he gonna do? You can go down and tell Roger Maris that he never steals bases. He's aggressive in his base running. His hit and run is big. Never sacrifice or bunt. And yeah, never live for a pinch hitter. But yeah, we will use him as a pinch hitter. So we can sort of set that up. We know kind of what we're doing there on the offensive strategy. That's going to give him more chance to kind of hit a bit more. Front office has a lot of different things. You can see here that we've got a lot of different the goals listed here and when they're due by, what they are, and how good we are at getting them. So we haven't quite got a team leader yet. But Tom Tresh isn't far away there. So if we upgraded our second baseman, won most of our games, and made it to the World Series, this would be an ultra successful season. You can see here your salaries as well and when they're due for renewal. Bit more in the main game. Upcoming free agents are yours. Then scouting, which has been disabled here, but there's the list for it. Player development as well. Sort of put a budget, how much that's gonna go, and develop. And then you've got your front office personnel, which are all your people helping you out. So we've got an excellent assistant GM. We've got an unproven manager, and they've got different personalities and management styles and different skills as well. So we can take a quick look at him. You see that he favors defense a little bit. You can see that, high frequency of stealing, hits and runs, sacrifice bunts, and pinch hitting. What he doesn't like doing is favoring the right and left matchups and also using infield shifts. He does like to play small ball. So, not sure exactly what that is. You can see here the development influence. He's got poor influence, and these players might develop slower with him. If there were any that were higher influence, they'd be on this side. He's got good relationships with this bunch of people, and he's got bad relationships with Whitey Ford, Luis Arroyo, Johnny Blanchard, Yogi Berra, Mickey Mantle, and Roger Maris. So pretty much anyone who is anyone on this team, the manager just isn't getting on with. And then you look at his sample lineup and what he would pick, and that can give you a good idea if you're actually putting everything together yourself. You can also look at the schedule here and see what you're doing. You can open in the external browser. I don't do things like that. But yeah, you can see we've got some really good players. One thing, going back to this screen, this is somewhere where I do enjoy spending a little bit of time over the course of the season. You'll see your top players. They might change as the season goes on. The top prospects, they get re-evaluated too. And then you've got your league ranked players. So you see as a closer, we got the 7th best, but a relief pitcher, Luis, is only 16th. Starting pitcher, Whitey Ford, is the 5th best in the league. Roger Maris is the 2nd best right fielder. Mantle is the 1st best centre fielder. And Yogi Berra is tied for 3rd in the left fielding stakes. Tony Kubic is 3rd there at shortstop. The basemen aren't very good. Boyer and Skowron are at 3rd and 1st respectively, only 10th. Richardson's only 15th, but, you know, the catcher is number 1. Howard is the best in the league. So you can kind of take a look at that and think, yeah, the owner wants us to improve second base. So if we can go out and snag a very nice player, that could work out well for us. If we can get maybe youngsters at all 3 base positions and, you know, maybe another relief pitcher, someone to take that strain off Luis, and he's 34, so maybe a youngster there, and that's kind of how you can decide where you're going to build, how you're going to build. This and the depth chart will give you so much information. And I'm really, really impressed with the level of depth, the attention to detail, and the whole historical mode, you know, in general, is a phenomenal idea. And not enough games do that. So I'm really enjoying seeing these kind of features, and hopefully they'll make it into Franchise Hockey Manager, and when it comes out, Beyond the Sidelines Football. I have great faith in games right now being developed by Out of the Park Developments. I think that, you know, they really suit my style of play. Low graphics, lots of information, really fun, engaging, in-depth sports simulations that you can just sink your teeth into and have a good, not only a good time and a good game, but a good career and really build something. That's what I like doing in these games, and they give you so many tools to do it. Now what we're going to do here, since we've had a look at most of these things, is those are the other teams, by the way. There aren't that many of them. What we're actually going to do here is go to the play menu, and you can see you can finish a bunch of stuff. This is what I like here. It's not in Franchise Hockey Manager, which is a shame. But you can autoplay. Well, it was in 2, but not in 3, so far as I noticed. But you can play to specific times. So let's go here, and we can see, yeah, let's go until the playoffs begin. So this will just simulate all the season games, which is, you know, quite a few of them. So it's going through now, setting up all the bits and pieces, and then you can see just how quickly this is running through games. And you can set up your box to bring you out when your, you know, certain things happen. So that's opening day already. There's your pitching leaders. Your prospects are right there. Couple of nice players in there indeed. So what's this? Oh, very good game there, etc., etc. Lots of different news, awards, sort of updates, transactions. Okay, that's what happened in real life. So that's kind of what the game has done. We can just delete all messages and go until playoffs start. And you can see right now the Detroit Tigers are having a phenomenal season. We've just hit a bronze achievement on a roll, winning streak of 5. Lovely stuff. There are more there. We're not going to worry about messages. We're going to get the season done. In fact, exit autoplay. Do not disturb. Yes. That is fine. Now there is commissioner mode, which does allow you to edit so much as well, which we're not going to do. As I say, I want to get through to the playoffs. We can see though that the Tigers are ahead, but we're slowly starting to catch. Not as quick as we should be. But you can also see the batting leaders for the National League and the American League, the two different conferences as it was for the the whole MLB for the baseball league. You can see batting averages. Bobby Richardson is third. Roger Maris is second in the home run race, behind Rocky Colavito of Detroit. So he's really pushing them on. There's Mantle. So we'll see if anybody can catch here. Mantle and Maris are having a really good go, but it looks like Detroit are the team to beat for some reason. RBI's Mantle is in there. On base and slugging. All in there. But really, I think that's about it. So, season over, well done. You can see batter of the month there. Mickey Mantle, pitcher of the month, Whitey Ford. Batting champion, Elston Howard. And the ERA crown, Whitey Ford. So he had the best ERA. He had the best batting stats. We had pitcher and batters of the month. We completed a season. There's quite a lot there. So yeah, it looks like the playoffs kind of already happened. So 9th of October, you can see Detroit versus San Francisco. It was a pretty one-sided affair, and it ends up with San Francisco as the champions. And that's how quick you can get through a season. Now, a lot of features are actually turned off in this playthrough, but I wanted to really give you a little sense of how quick, if you want to take a more hands-off approach like I have been doing, how quick you can get through games and seasons and really just build and build what is, for me, as I say, the best part of these games, watching the progress, seeing how everything comes together. So, league home screen. You can see there that Howard won the batting average just ahead of Cash. Roger Maris hit 47, which is a bit below his 61 he hit in real life. Colavito came very, very close though, and you can see he is a very good left fielder. Some really good batting stats there, and that's why he had such a good year. Strikeouts, Sandy Koufax is there. Great player. Whitey Ford not too far behind. And then your team stats and your team pitching here. But really, the Yankees in this simulation fell back a little bit more, which is not the best. That's not the best at all. But yeah, that's one season done. That's the historical sort of roundup. I think if we go to our team home screen, we can see here what other people did. So Maris 47, Mantle 45, Blanchard with 26, Some good batting there from Skowron and Mantle as well. Runs batted in, Mantle, Maris, Howard. Expect that. Mantle stealing bases, Richardson's there. Yugbera with 2. We don't really steal very much. The ERA's pretty good there from Whitey Ford, 2.56. 19 wins and 242 strikeouts. IP is innings pitched, so there's something there. Over the entire American League, you could see we were second in runs scored, batting average, home runs, runs against, the starter and bullpen ERA, and our defensive efficiency was number 1. What we weren't so good at, on-base percentage, we were 4th there, and the stolen bases was 8th. Really not great at that. We didn't get on base as much as we should have done. Detroit absolutely smashed it. And you can see there, first, third, first, third. They were the dominant team. Colavito nearly got the home run record that we were looking for. But, yeah, it's an interesting look at how you can sort of replicate history. You can create your custom leagues. You can play modern day. There are good graphics packs as well for them. So you can include logos and, you know, change the skin of the game. And with commissioner mode, you can change so much more. So I would recommend that you give this game a go. If you know anything about baseball, if you like the sport, and you're a fan of management games, then this is for you. If you don't know much about baseball but would like to, this is a great learning tool as well as a good game. So I'd highly recommend getting into it. Just running through some of the commissioner stuff that you can do. There's a lot of like hidden data around here. But let's say I didn't feel like Roger Maris ever had a chance, as I don't think he did in this. When you're in commissioner mode, you can go to the editor and start editing all these different stats. They're all in the manual teaching you what they do. Ultimately though, I think that Roger Maris should have been he should have had a higher I think. So I would go 126, 136, potential of 125. I think let's get it up to 130. Oops. 134. They're all out to 250, you can see. So finding the gap wasn't the best. Now I think if we really throw this up though, give him a bit of potential to grow there, then you can see we've got all this here. Now you can just put in here, let's say at bats 590, hits 230, second base let's say 42 with 5 there. Home runs, we would want him to get, of course, the magical 61, and let's ignore the rest, though we could just hit that and it will choose what stats he would need to produce that kind of season. And you can also throw in the potentials, which balances everything out. So if you aren't going to change things, you do have a chance. You can see the different kinds of hitters, pitchers. You can select their pitching speed, as well as a bunch of different pitches that they could throw. And here as well, outfield, I think 104, 182, 134, and that would make him quite a bit better in terms of fielding as well. So now we don't need to save anything. I was going to save them, but what we could do is just go right through here, through the end of the season, back to the regular season. Oh, we got the Great Glove Award, it looks like. We're creating baseball cards here because we've just won, some stuff. We'll take a look at those awards, and then I'm going to pause the video, run through a second season, and see if we can get better. Let's see if Maris can hit more than 47, and, you know, he really should. He should absolutely smash it this season. And we'll see exactly why, you know, you need to be careful if you are using Commissioner Mode to change attributes. But I'll be back when we're at the awards, and then we'll pause after the awards, run through another season, and see where things end up. Okay, so in the league news, we can see that you got the best gloveman here, the Golden Glove players, and our catcher was the best player at his position. Also, Detroit Tigers had some very nice bits as well. But third baseman, shortstop, they did quite well for us as well. The best fielders there, we missed out. Oh, that's actually the NL. We're not in the NL, we're in the AL. So we can kind of jump around a little bit here, showing you a little bit more about the best hitters there. You see Mantle's there, Maris is there, and once again it's Howard. We got the top pitching trophy here, Whitey Ford third in that running. Skipper of the year was of course Detroit, which wouldn't have been ours, but you know, that's fine. And then there's a bunch of other news that we could catch up on, but as I say, I want to get through until the end of the playoffs again, and we'll see if the changes we've made actually help us out. So let's see how things go. Batting average, Roger Maris is way up there, and he's competing right now for top home runs. He actually just about gets there, look. He's just in the lead now, and we are, what's this, 77 games in, so he's on pace right now to hit where we wanted him to hit. So I'm just going to pause the recording, wait for the game to really go through the rest of this season, and we will be right back. And so, less than a minute later, we are back. You can see here, season over, well done. Great pitching wins on the roll there. Winning streak of 12 is included. So going into the playoffs as well, I think that'll spoil a little bit of what we went through this season. Let's delete all those messages though, and go here. What am I looking for? Totally blanked. Home screen. So you can see here the home runs. Roger Maris hit 61. It's exactly what we expected, exactly what we tried to edit him for. Great season there. You can see, you know, Skullrun had a good season. Mantle a little bit off, but really Maris carried this team a little bit. We got a lot better apart from stolen bases once more, and you know, that is something that I really did enjoy. But you can see Maris might have hit 61, but Harman Killebrew hit 64. So we can't actually replicate this because, you know, real life was such a fun thing, and even the historical mode, there is that ability to change history. And that's what I love about this game, and this mode in particular. The chance to go revisit history, put your own spin in it, influence it, change it, whatever it might be. We actually went and did really, really well. We went head-to-head with the San Francisco Giants, and I believe we lost in 5, so not the best there. But some really nice stats here, you can see we really did sort of improve the team by making Maris as good as he was for that one outlier of a season. But yeah, that's going to wrap up the review of Out of the Park Baseball and this video. As I say, it's a fun game. It's something that I think I need to dedicate a little bit of time to learn more about the sport and just enjoy getting to grips with all the deep features that are in this game. They can be overwhelming at first, but if you take your time and just, do things, read the manual, figure a few things out, then it's nowhere near as bad as it seems. In fact, it's a very fun game. And being able to build your team and the level of depth that goes into farm teams and scouting, and there's a lot to this game. So I highly recommend that if you're into baseball, into sports management games, or just like the look of what you've seen in this video, go out, grab Out of the Park Baseball 17. New version will be coming out, as it comes out every year, new iteration of the game. So have a look out as well for Out of the Park Baseball 18. If you can't afford to buy the game, well, you are in luck, of course. We are giving away 3 to 4 copies of Out of the Park 17. So go follow me on Twitter at ChrisAlmy. You'll find there a pinned tweet giving you the link to the giveaway, as well as instructions of what you can do to enter and increase your chances. It'll be via Gleam, so you just need to follow me on Twitter, retweet the tweet, and then click the link, head over to Gleam, and get your entries in. I will be drawing 3 winners and a possible 4th if I can get that 4th copy, and we will, announce that on Twitter. I will contact you on Twitter via DM to let you know that you've won, as well as tweeting it out. So get it in now, guys. Get your entries in right now. As of now, it is open. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Thanks very much as well to the Park Developments for giving us a couple of copies of the game to give away. Very nice company. Pleasure to deal with, which isn't with all the games, I'm sad to say. Not all games companies are that way, so I feel that they do deserve a little bit of credit and a little bit of a shout out for being very, very fan friendly. So thanks very much to them once more. And thanks to you guys for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, leave a comment, thumbs up, head over to Twitter. Get in on this competition, guys. You've got about just over a week, I think, before the competition is going to close. So here's your chance to grab a very good game and try and replicate history, or maybe make some of your own. I've been ChrisAlmy. This has been Out of the Park Baseball 17. Thank you, take care, and good night.